Greetings, my brothers and sisters. I hope you can see me. Hello. This is Brother West. I wanted to come back and do another message, and someone requested that I come back, and not too long ago after that, while I was driving, or while my wife was driving, and we were just relaxing and whatnot, Moses jumped in my spirit, and what I was seeing was there was a plot, and in this plot, during the time of Moses, the plot was, or the role, or the decree was, that every firstborn male be killed. And in the story, Moses' mother knew this, and so she hid him as long as she could for 3 months. Then she decided to put him on the river Nile, hoping that someone would have mercy and take her child. And God, you know what, God fixed it so, because the word God put in my spirit, I'm about to get to it. God fixed it so that God knew what was going to happen, what the enemy was going to do. But God had already made provisions, and so while Moses was on the river in his little baby thing, and it says that the king, Pharaoh's daughter, saw it coming. And the scripture says that when she opened up that thing, she opened up the from where she could see him, and the scripture says that he began to weep and cry. And in him weeping and crying, the scripture says that she had compassion on him and drew him out and made him her own. And not only that, she fixed it so that, seeing that she was going to raise him as her own, but what she did, she went to his mother, and he brought her back to teach him and wean him and nourish him. And it's interesting, in the midst of danger, in the midst of this disaster, in the midst of all of that, where there was a price tag over his head, God had a way. God made provisions. And in the midst of the pollution of hate, in the midst of the pollution of racism, the pollution of hurt and despair and wickedness, and in the midst of all of that, you know what God did? In the midst of what God was telling me, you know what God did? Just like what he did with Moses. There was a price tag over his head, but out of haste, Mama put him on the Nile, and while he was on the Nile, she was hoping that someone had mercy, and the king's daughter found him and had compassion on him and drew him out. You need to know that whatever kind of situation that you're in right now, whatever kind of predicament that you're in, God has compassion in your situation. God can hear, God can feel. Matter of fact, the scripture said the righteous cry, and God hear and he deliver. God can hear your situation, he can hear your cry, and he's going to deliver you out of that. He's drawing you out. That river, that hell, that bad situation that you're in, God is drawing you out. That thing that you've been waiting on, it's like you're between a rock and a hard place, and you want to move, but you feel like you're stuck, you're trapped, and you can't move. You're bound, you're imprisoned, you're indoctrinated. You've been hooked, you've been bamboozled, and you know it. And see, but it seems like you can't do nothing about it. See, but God is going to break it and draw you out. He's going to draw you out of that bad place. He's going to draw you out of pain, and he's going to put you in a place called peace. He's going to draw you out of despair. He's going to draw you out of poverty. He's going to draw you out of being injustice and all kind of bad stuff happening. But he's flipping the script. You need to know God is drawing you out. God is drawing you out of every bad place. God is drawing you out of every bad situation. He's drawing you out of it. He's separating you. He's separating you from the condition. He's separating you from the doubters. He's separating you. He is separating you for such a time as this. And so know that God said he's drawing you out. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. It don't matter what happened or how it happened or what transpired. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. God is drawing you out. He's bringing you out. That's what he spoke to my spirit, woman and man of God. Hang in there, and let him draw you. Let him pull you out. Let him pull you out. And so, and see the thing about it. He looked upon you, and he saw compassion. Hear what I'm saying? Even in this day and time, God is going to speak to the heart of men and women concerning some of you. And then you're going to have favor because they're going to look upon you. And they're going to have compassion. And they're going to bring you out of that situation. And see, they ain't going to know. They ain't going to know what kind of trouble and what kind of hell you've been in. But it's just going to so happen. God going to speak to their heart. And they're going to do something that's going to flip your situation. That's going to flip your life. That's going to flip your understanding. That's going to flip your position. That's going to flip. God is flipping it. God is flipping it. God is flipping it. And so, those are my words. He's drawing you out.